Target * 8 to 10 minutes. Hook * at 15 years old, he was already being called the best prospect since Sidney Crosby. At 26, he's arguably the greatest hockey player alive. But the weight of a city's championship hopes? That's a different kind of pressure. The Edmonton Oilers hadn't won a Stanley Cup in 30 years. The city was starving. And then a kid from Newmarket, Ontario walked in and said, "Watch this. This is the come-up of Connor McDavid." The come-up, Connor McDavid, the quiet assassin. Connor McDavid was born on January 13, 1997, in Newmarket, Ontario, a small town north of Toronto. His parents were both athletic. His father played hockey at the University of New Hampshire. His mother was a sprinter. But Connor was different from the start. By age 3, he was skating. By age 4, he was playing organized hockey against kids twice his age. By 6, he was dominating them. His parents had to lie about his age just to get him into leagues where he'd be challenged. He played for the York Simcoe Express, one of the top minor hockey programs in Ontario. And even there, in a program designed to develop elite talent, McDavid was on another level. At 13, he applied for and was granted exceptional player status by Hockey Canada. This is the same designation given to John Tavares and Aaron Ekblad. It allowed him to enter the OHL draft a year early. The Erie Otters drafted him first overall. He was 15 years old. In his first OHL game, he scored a goal. In his first season, he put up 66 points in 63 games as a 15-year-old playing against 18 and 19-year-olds. The hockey world was watching. The comparisons to Crosby, to Gretzky, to Orr, they started before he could drive. But here's what people miss about Connor McDavid: the pressure wasn't just on the ice. In his third OHL season, he was named captain of the Erie Otters at 17, the youngest captain in franchise history. He led the team in scoring. He was the undisputed best player in junior hockey. And then, in November 2014, he broke his hand. Not just any injury. A broken bone in his hand, the most important tool in his entire arsenal. The injury happened in a fight. McDavid dropped the gloves after a cheap shot. Some questioned his judgment. Others admired his compete level. He missed 6 weeks. The world wondered if he'd be the same. He came back and scored 5 points in his first game. The 2015 NHL draft was a formality. The Edmonton Oilers, who had finished dead last, won the draft lottery. McDavid was going to Edmonton, a city that hadn't seen a playoff appearance in nearly a decade. A city that had been waiting for a savior since Wayne Gretzky left in 1988. And then, 3 months into his rookie season, he broke his collarbone. Missed 37 games. The narrative started forming, he's injury-prone. He can't stay healthy. Maybe he's not the savior after all, McDavid doesn't talk much. He doesn't need to. He lets the ice do the talking. In his second season, he scored 100 points. He won the Art Ross Trophy as the NHL's leading scorer. At 20 years old, he was the youngest captain in NHL history. In 2017-18, he won the Art Ross again. 108 points. The Oilers missed the playoffs. In 2018-19, he had 116 points. The Oilers missed the playoffs again. In 2019-20, 97 points in a pandemic-shortened season. No playoffs. Year after year, McDavid was the best player on the planet, and his team couldn't give him help. The weight of an entire franchise, an entire city, sat on his shoulders. And he just kept going. He never complained publicly. Never demanded a trade. Never pointed fingers. In 2020-21, he scored 105 points in 56 games, a 154-point pace over 82 games. The Oilers won their first playoff series in years. And then came 2022-23. 64 goals. 89 assists. 153 points. The greatest offensive season in the salary cap era. McDavid won his third Hart Trophy as NHL MVP. But the Oilers still fell short in the playoffs. Again. In 2024, McDavid led the Oilers to the Stanley Cup Final. Down 3-0 to the Florida Panthers, the Oilers won 3 straight to force Game 7. They lost 2-1. McDavid won the Conn Smythe Trophy as playoff MVP on the losing team. The first player to win the Conn Smythe on a losing team since Jean-Sébastien Giguère in 2003. The second in 50 years. He didn't speak to the media after Game 7. He sat in the locker room with his head in his hands. A man who had done everything, absolutely everything, and still come up 1 goal short. And then he came back the next season, averaged nearly 2 points per game, and the Oilers went back to the final again. This time, they won. Connor McDavid. The quietest assassin in hockey history. A man who let his play speak louder than any quote ever could. You don't need to be loud to be great. You don't need to announce yourself. You just need to show up every single day and do the work. The loudest statement is consistency. And nobody has been more consistent than number 97. That was Connor McDavid's come up. If this hit different, hit subscribe. Next up, the 199th pick who became the greatest of all time. The come up. Before they were legends, ***.